He's bribed me. Again.
I can see. Right. Okay, you've got what you need. You've got your sippy cup.
I have. You make out like I'm some sort of alcoholic. I haven't had a drink all weekend.
Sorry.
Of rosé.
A drink of rosé.
Right, okay.
Okay, right. We need to make sure this is on both of us.
Where's your...
Before I start...
I've got the magic cream on.
Okay, you've got your water.
Do you think I
cream.
ought to just put up a bit of this hair like that? Stop it.
You do make me laugh. I'm a bit nervous about you sort of magpieing over there. I quite like you to sit. Anyway, right. Ah. Are you ready, Mama?
Do you want that on?
Do you want to put that on? Happy?
Do you think? Yes,
I look very pale against you. Why do I look sort of opaque?
Well, because you've got a beautiful young skin and I'm an old hag.
Oh.
Hello.
Come on.
Oh, for God's sake. Well, I do. I look like a bit of a tomato, don't I? Hang on.
She needs a good glug before we start. Hello, my angels. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to a brand new vlog. And Mama, welcome back onto the channel.
Bribed again.
We've done a lot of negotiations in the last week.
Out of my comfort zone, you know I am. I don't mind blustering around a garden or, you know, being...
So we've come to middle ground. I wanted to do a sit down with the flashlight on Mummy, Q&A style, but she says absolutely not.
Can't cope with interrogation.
So we've got a gorgeous drink. Mummy has been asking me for a couple of weeks, cheers Mama, and cheers to all of you, to do her makeup.
Well, I never concentrate enough.
I know, this is true.
And then when I see yours and you go out, I mean, obviously I look like a complete tomato head in comparison with you, all sort of too tanned, sun damaged.
You're not at all.
Well, I do try to wear 50
I am
to 50
extremely
every
fair,
day.
and I don't know why I look almost like opaque today. I don't know whether it's
Well,
like...
you've got your makeup on and you need to tone me down a bit. I look, you know...
Well, you're bronze, you're beautiful. So Mummy's been asking me to do her makeup for weeks and just to do like a little bit of like a refresher. And sometimes I get into a bit of a rut and I always do my makeup the same way. And it only takes me listening to somebody else or having my makeup done by Izzy or seeing something on Instagram or TikTok where I slightly change something. And definitely I would say having a daughter keeps you young.
Certainly does.
And
having a mummy keeps you
glamorous. So today we are going to do a bit of a Q&A. I put a community post up and so many of you guys, not to overwhelm you Mummy, but we have had over 110 questions.
I don't believe.
So we are going to try and get
interested in me.
so many people, Mummy. You are the star of the show, if truth be
ridiculous.
known. If truth be known. So we're going to do a little bit of a Q&A along with makeup, and then I've been promising you to go for a quick stroll around the gardens here in the UK, and it is nothing short of magnificent. The hydrangeas are just out of this world.
Amazing.
And I thought we could do like an early evening stroll around the orchard and the gardens with Mummy and the boys because the sun is shining. It is quite windy today, and Mummy gets sent a little bit wiry when it's windy.
Wiry?
You are, yeah.
The wind makes me a bit wild, I say.
Oh right,
wiry.
wiry. Like a wirehead sausage.
No, it just
a bit
sends me
spiky.
it sends me a bit sort of mad,
Yeah.
wind.
Mm.
Anyway, come on.
Right, so first things first, makeup wise, you've already done your magic cream, and that was actually one of the questions.
Magic cream and lima laser today.
Oh,
I did
yes,
think I looked
talk
about 150 years old when I woke up this morning, but that was after a weekend at Regatta.
Yes, and you said at the beginning of this vlog that you hadn't had any rosé.
I haven't had any rosé all weekend. Plenty of champagne and white wine, but no rosé.
I'm so pleased you're telling the truth, Mummy. So talk to us about the Limer. So many people on my YouTube channel, all of my OGs, are always asking, what is your sacred skincare routine? How are you looking the way you are? And I know you're being funny and trying to be humble and modest, but actually you have got the most beautiful skin. For somebody of your age, it's incredible.
I don't know about that, darling. I do use a lot of moisturiser. I mean, I really moisturise, and I love the rose harmonising cream. That's my favourite.
Yeah, the Chantecaille rose
Chantecaille, and anything that is going, really, just rub it all in
today
into the neck. But this, I think, is a good thing. You know,
this is definitely an investment. I spoke to you guys about this when we were in Harrods the other day, and it is a Limer laser. They come in 2 sizes, so they have this side that's just quite nifty, and to be honest with you, they are expensive, but it is a medical grade.
They do go on sale twice a year, and I bought this last year, and I haven't regretted it. And if I remember, I'm trying to use it every day.
Yeah, and it's really targeting dark spots.
Just for 10-15 minutes, and you can do it, just wandering around the house. I sometimes catch up with my emails and I do it.
Sometimes.
So, Instagram.
Doom scrolling on the loo.
Lots of doom scrolling. Not on the loo, thank you very much.
But no, it works wonders, and I steal it from time to time. And also, if you think about it, you are actually performing your own lymphatic drainage.
And it comes with a little gel that you put on first, which we're out of actually.
So highly recommend. I don't know whether you're going to be able to see that. For once, my camera is actually focusing on my face. But this is the branding. I tell you what I'll do is I'll leave it up on screen now, as well as link it in the description box down below. As I said, it is an investment, but if you aren't investing in your health and your skincare, then what are you investing in? But anyway, this is Mummy's secret weapon. So she's hydrating, LED, and then dehydrating at the same time whilst drinking. So okay, I'm going to start. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to start your makeup, but can you talk me through your desert island skincare products? You're going to do your Rose de May, that's your moisturiser. What are you using to tone? What eye cream do you use? What SPF do you use? All of that malarkey.
SPF, absolutely non-negotiable, 50. Oh, you're going to use that? It's quite pale. I've got a darker one here.
Right, okay.
Well, I think a mixture of the two.
I think that's orange.
I think a mixture of the two is better.
Yeah, well that does match you.
Yeah, it does match me.
Okay, alright, should we do a mixture of the two?
Yeah, I'd put this on first and then just highlight with that.
Okay.
Factor 50, face and neck and back of hands.
Yeah, back of hands, you are good at back of hands.
I've been using Idyl, which I love. Medicate, which is Medi8.
Yeah.
I think their skincare is fantastic. I think Estee Lauder, that night serum is very good. I mean, I'm not absolutely wedded to any brand, but I think Chantecaille is probably my favourite, and Idyl I think is wonderful. Medicate, what else?
What do you use as you're a big lover of that Sarah Chapman, aren't you?
Yes. Well, I used to use that much
so that's
more
in your makeup bag. That's
when I lived in the UK, and it
gives
you a real glowy. That is fantastic. It's an SPF 30, but it's not enough of an SPF now. I'm living in Mallorca most of the time, so I wear that when I'm back here. It's called Skin Insurance.
Yeah.
Perfecting tint. So I don't wear a foundation. I just wear like a very light. Look how glowy that is. A very light tinted moisturiser. That's lovely. Oh, Leonora's got me into this
Yes. So my secret trick is to, first and foremost, with any makeup look, I use the original Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. However, if you have watery eyes or really, really sensitive skin, or have already quite oily skin, then they do what's called the water cream, which is a little bit of a looser...
Charlotte's Magic Water Cream.
Yeah. So magic
lightweight
water
gel cream moisturiser, super hydrating.
So it literally is a lot more lightweight, but what I like to do is use a lot of it and spend a little bit of time really, really massaging it into my skin and leave it for about 10 or 15 minutes before I do anything else, whether I put my Hollywood Flawless filter or my foundation. So that I would definitely say first.
I've had it on for about 2 hours.
And then I go in with a lot of Hollywood Flawless filter. If you saw how much I put on, you would think, oh my goodness gracious me.
I'm going to end up looking like a beacon, am I?
No. Come on. Especially with that hawk pork nose. Oh. Right, I've just had a quick glance at the questions, and one of my favourite questions is, hang on a moment, let me just triple check. It says, oh, OG Helen Stella. So I adore Mummy. She's such a hoot with a wicked sense of humour. Question, as a little girl, what did she want to be when she grew up?
Oh God, I wanted to be on the stage. Can you imagine? Yes, I think I had my first taste of it at the Kenton Theatre in Henley, and I just loved sort of carting around on a stage with a tutu on. So I thought I was going to be a famous actress, actually, if truth be known.
It went terribly wrong.
So I loved it, and I always got a bit like you did. I always got the sort of in the school play when I was a little girl, got the lead part in The Bachelor Mouse, and it was a children's opera. But I always remember my parents arriving late and starting to wave at me from the back. I absolutely loved it. But I think when you then get into sort of being a slightly older child, you suddenly lack the confidence to go through with it. And I'd love to have gone to drama school. I really would have done. I was a right old drama queen. But then by the time you hit teenage...
So you were.
Teenage, you're just self-conscious, aren't you? And, it's the absolute...
and then all the boys and...
I was boy
but what, you
crazy. We were all boy crazy. We went to all-girls school, known locally as Crumpet Hall.
Boy crazy.
Boy crazy. All the teens are boy crazy. And then after A-levels, I left school very quickly and early and rushed up to London. Got the first job I could find in a very sort of upmarket company called Jaeger. I know, but I managed to get on their graduate training scheme, which was an absolute miracle. But it wasn't really for me. I don't know. I think
look up.
I think London was never really my scene. I'm a country bumpkin.
We're so similar. So you did that, you did extremely well, and then you opened up, being the entrepreneur that you are, you opened up your own shop, and so many of you have all been asking, where was the shop, what was it called, what did you stock, did you have just the best time? Yeah. What was it all about?
Well, in the 80s, the boutique business was absolutely, people didn't have online. They didn't go to London, really, maybe once a year, before Christmas to Harrods. So actually, in the provinces, we had beautiful boutiques, and I very much went in at the bottom of the rung and took over one of my father's shops that he had, which definitely wasn't my scene, and reinvented it, and I called it Number 9, which was the address, and then sort of worked my way up to selling after a few years, sort of really super designer clothes, and I had quite a following in Henley, and I loved it, absolutely loved it, and it was really very ab-fab in the 80s. And
The stories.
we got up to all sorts, I can tell you.
Mummy used to have a table with Kimberly every single Tuesday. Tuesday was their buying day. And they'd go up to London.
Oh, super early, we'd get up to London, whistle round Great Titchell Street, Great Portland Street, and the ladder in between. Did all the buying, or the forward buying in the end, because it was, and then we'd always go for lunch at Langham's. And we'd have the same table that Michael Henry used to keep for us, and we got into so much trouble.
So naughty. I mean, it's shocking. I don't think I've ever done. Mummy would rarely come home. I mean, the two of them were so naughty, but you had such
Our record was about
fun.
2 days, I think. Yeah.
2 days. Could you imagine?
Anyway, no, we had such fun, but I mean the best fun was all the sort of fashion shows that we used to put on. And in those days you'd have these very smart car showrooms that would sell Porsches or Jaguars, and they you know would be bringing out a new model of car, and you know, what can you do? You can invite people round and look at the car. It's a bit boring. So I would be asked to go and do a fashion show in the car showroom. So we'd flick up a catwalk, and I had a sort of posse of these gorgeous girls that would model for me. And
You had some real names though, didn't you?
oh my goodness, yes. We had I had local girls that were all good dancers from the dancing school. So it was all set to music and very, you know, very 80s. And then I had a few sort of much more professional models from London. In fact, one of my models was the most beautiful girl called Lorraine Scott, who ended up going out with Mick Jagger and so sadly died a few years ago. She was beautiful, and this incredible girl called Helen Fairbrother. People used to just stop dead when they saw her. She was so incredible.
She was so striking.
Oh, she was.
Yeah.
And anyway, we had such fun putting on these fashion shows, and it would be weeks in the preparation, and we'd close the shop at night, and we'd catwalk up and down the shop and drink champagne,
and really what they actually wanted is to see you on the catwalk.
I do.
Mummy
I already
was,
used to come out at the end.
people stop me and tell me that my mother was like the princess of Henley.
Oh, don't be.
She
don't,
had
don't listen to
all
that. It's
of-
absolute nonsense.
Do they or do they not say that?
Well, certainly not a princess, but I was a
The
bit of a
Queen of Henley.
madam.
She was a madam of Henley,
Madam
okay,
Marinsky.
Madam Marinsky. And she had all of this hair, and you had these just, I mean, it sounds a bit sort of brash of me to say, but these enormous, incredible bosoms, tiny waist, and a sausage on her hip. And it was
Always
just
a sausage.
always a sausage.
In fact, the dog that
Look this
really
way.
was
a legend in her
a
own
legend
right.
in her own lifetime was Harriet Hannah, who was my first proper child. I named her Harriet, which is my favourite girl's name. So Leonora could have been a Harriet, but I jumped the gun and named my chocolate dachshund Harriet. And Harriet used to sit in the window of number 9 in Henley. And we used to have these halogen lamps that lit up the clothes, and she would sit there for the warmth of the lamp. And people would come. If I had a pound for everybody who would say, "How much is that doggy in the window?" So she used to get Christmas cards at Christmas. And I mean, one day it was quite funny. A friend of mine, Fiona, was walking down the street, and she'd sort of like opened the front door of the shop and shouted, "Harriet's chewing the sweater in the window." She was laying on a sort of Angoran mohair sweater we used to have these sweaters with big lions on the front with all leather and, you know, whiskers and tassels, and she was just sort of sat there cudding on the sort of £500 sweater.
And in those
didn't care
days,
at
that
all.
was absolutely, I mean, so expensive.
No, we used to party hard. In fact, I think most of Monday morning was normally spent sort of in the end changing room, sleeping under a few bits of old stock.
All Honestly, the stories. And you and Kimberly had such fun. And I think that kind of leads on to another question really rather nicely, because it says, like, how did you get into interior design? You know, your homes are just exquisite. Did you do it for a job and then you now are doing it for more personal? But really, would you say that your true passion is homes and interiors?
Well,
how did you get
in
into
my
it?
20s? So I was 19 when I opened number 9, and probably about 30 when I was pregnant with Cameron when I gave it up. I loved clothes, and I loved putting on these shows and just the whole life of it. But I have to be honest, I think, yeah, there was no hope for me, because my first paycheck ever at Jaeger, I bought an oil painting of a dachshund in Walton Street. That was what I spent my money on. So I've always collected things for the home.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think fashion and interior design go hand in hand. I think if you're into fashion, you're into interior design, personally. But if I was to say what my love is, it's interior design and homes and gardens. Absolutely adore it. And now, you know, I love to scrub up well sometimes, but I'm not obsessed with clothes. And, you know, it's hard when you get older as well to, you know, for it to be that important to you, because what's more important is your life with your children, your homes, your dogs, your friends. And yes, you want to look good, but it's not the be-all and end-all, is it? Let's face it.
Well said, Mama. Very, very well said. Honestly, I'm having such a chuckle to myself when I read this one. I'm not sure whether you're going to be able to answer this one.
Oh, what was that? You and Mark and Mummy had a love-hate relationship. Too funny, please don't. Oh, we bloody well do. Oh my God. We go hammer and tongs at one another sometimes.
They do indeed. I mean, Mark and my mother speak more often than I do with my mother.
We can sometimes speak 10 times a day, and I'm not joking, when we were in the middle of a project. And we can fall out, and then 10 minutes later you'll call me and we're just over it and we just move on.
They're like a pair of old women. The way that they can just sit down.
Actually, Daddy is appalled sometimes. He says, you can't speak to Mark like that. And I said, well, he speaks to me like that.
They really do go hammer and tongs. I say, Marcus.
We love one another. We absolutely love one another. It's more love than hate, but just occasionally a bit of hate. I call him the thin controller.
What's Daddy?
The fat controller. But not watch this one.
No,
together
hopefully,
when we're missing Leonora.
Make sure you fast forward over this bit. So that is something. Actually,
Daddy's not very fat at the moment. He's very thin too.
I know, he's been on a right regime.
Oh, so boring.
Right. Can you do? Oh gosh, I'm reading all of these. I'm going. Oh no, this is a really. Oh. I'm going through breast cancer and this is my first year. Had my first year exam yesterday and it looked good. My question is, I was nervous wreck and worried myself to death before the test. Do you ever relax and not worry that it's back? You two are the best. Oh, that's so hard.
It is a really hard one, actually. What is the lady's name?
Debbie.
Debbie.
I'm not sure. Hopefully she's okay with me saying her name. But Debbie, yes.
Okay, Debbie. Well, I don't think it ever leaves you. No, I think it absolutely stays with you. And over 10 years on, I still worry. Probably not daily, but I still worry all the time about reoccurrence. Because I just think it's such a... I don't know. I just think it's you. When I was going through treatment, there was one person, a friend of my husband's, who used to send me little gifts, and he said the most important thing is to be positive, and I think it is. It's absolutely the most important thing to be positive. But of course, we have days. We all have days. Well, actually, mainly nights. When you wake up in the night and you think, oh my goodness, I've overdone it, or I've been pushing myself too hard in one way or another, and it hangs over you that this could possibly come back one day. But you know what? I stay very, very positive, and I'm a great believer in just pulling yourself out of those moods and
Dark
saying,
moments.
come on, you've got this life, you've got this day, let's get on with it.
And you
Get
live
up,
your life
put some
to the
lipstick on,
fullest.
and I've got all this bonus time with my children.
Yeah, so much to live
And
for.
so much to live
Yeah.
for, you know. And I'm just not going to go there. But of course, one worries sometimes. It's
So-
just human nature. You can't say you don't. Oh, that's nice. I like that one.
This one is the Christian Dior. But just to finish off there, Debbie, we wish you all the luck in the world.
do.
And our comment section and DMs are always open to anybody going through that sort of thing, and we will try and help where we can. But yeah, positivity is definitely something, and I think actually it goes hand in hand with, you know, do you feel so nervous? And I think that goes to show that how much they love their life and how much they have to live for. And I think mindset, and certainly with you, mindset.
But I
with
would say
everything.
as well, after a year, you've gone through that absolute horror bit with all the treatments and things, and then you sort of come out the other side, and you very much do have almost post-traumatic stress about what you've gone through, and that is just normal and natural. But you will get through it, and you will come out the other side. Look at me.
Yeah, and actually there's another person here who I was so touched by your trek in South Africa with you and Mummy. I'm 10 months post chemo after having breast cancer, so it's so nice to see someone further along and thriving in survivorship. I have a 5-year-old daughter of my own, and as a family we're all about having new adventures together now, as cancer gave us a new perspective on life.
I think that's absolutely true, you know.
Yeah.
I think cancer does give you a completely different perspective
I
on
suppose
life.
you're grateful for that.
You
in a
are
way.
so grateful. You go through life.
Yeah.
You don't take time to stop and smell the roses. And I think you have such a jolt and such a shock and such a wake-up call that actually the silver lining is that you appreciate life afterwards
Yeah.
so much more. You do stop and smell the roses. You do smell the coffee. You do
Live for every single moment.
enjoy your life more. You
Yeah.
do enjoy your life more, definitely.
Yeah.
And yes, you've got some war wounds along the way, and chemo is definitely not for wimps, I can tell you. Oh,
No, you have your
Wasn't it
battle
awful?
wounds, Jesus. And yeah, my heart is
Um,
with all of you. My goodness. I can't
anyway,
even
good
imagine.
luck. Good
Yes.
luck with it all.
So, to try and bring it slightly more of a positive note, do you have any siblings?
I do. I have Uncle Mark, don't I?
Yes, you do. Pausing for a quick sippingtons. And if you thought Mummy was the wild child, Uncle Mark might be.
Oh my God. My brother, when he was young, well still is Mick Jagger, basically. And he's 3 years older than me, and he has led me astray all his life. And I absolutely adore him.
They have the closest relationship.
I've had half an hour on the phone with him today. I was actually due to be in London today, having my hair done and going out with my brother for lunch. But I didn't feel too well this morning. And I called him, and do you know what? He's just the easiest person in the world. And he said, do you know what, darling? He said, Mondays are never good for me. He says, I'm just recovering from the weekend. So let's do it. We're meeting up just before my birthday.
Yes.
And he is just, he's my best friend. He's my best friend. I can talk to him for half an hour, an hour and a half. It goes like a flash. It's like talking to one of my best girlfriends. Don't keep looking down at your phone.
I know, well, I'm reading the questions. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I'm
but
sorry.
I'm in the middle of
Oh,
answering
sorry,
them.
okay, I'm listening.
Anyway, my brother is the best. I adore him.
He is, Uncle Mark.
He's
I
an
know you-
old rocker.
He is an old rocker, and he's so funny. And he always used to tell me growing up, you're just a bit boring, darling. Come on, have a bit of fun.
Yeah.
He was so funny. Absolutely
He's probably
hysterical.
had a bit too much fun in his life, but
That's a story for another day. I feel like I've gone ahead with doing a load of your makeup and not actually spoken through much of it at all. But brows Mummy likes to use this Precisely My Brow Pencil from Benefit. Actually, I do think they're fantastic.
I do think one of my main skincare tricks, though, is going to Resen in Saint-Denis for a facial with Ben. It is unbelievable what he does.
Yeah,
it is just a different level. He's the best facialist I've ever been to. And saying that, Victoria at the Marlowe Club for a platinum facial is also very good, very plumping, and that's what I would say once a month if you can afford it, or you know, you can sort of borderline do it at home, but you've got to really have a
good skincare.
A good half an hour to do it. But it is just such a treat for me to go for a facial. I've always loved going for a facial.
And there isn't sort of essentially like a menu or a list of different facials. It is so bespoke.
It's amazing.
It's incredible. And whether you
I came out looking 10 years younger, I felt. And then I came home on the aeroplane and drank rosé with Mark and felt 10 years older the next day. Anyway,
so one of the questions was, what is your favourite fragrance? What are your favourites? What are your icons?
I go through stages like we all do. As a young 20-something at your age, I used to wear Isatis by Yves Saint Laurent, which I absolutely loved. Chanel No. 5. Now I wear Coromdel Chanel. Anything by Guerlain, even their spritzers in the day, I love.
Yeah, I love them.
They just remind me of my mummy so much.
Yeah.
And I quite like your pomegranate noir still. Sometimes.
From Jo Malone London.
Yeah, I don't know. I smelled it on somebody the other day again. I thought that was quite nice. I just go through, you know, a few stages, and then I find living in a hot country now, you just want something just light and fresh. And Anique Goutal, I've got a beautiful lemony fragrance. I can't remember.
So I'm finding it a bit tricky to do your eyelashes. Would you mind doing them for me? So this is actually your mascara, and it is MAC's Extended Play Giga Black Lash in just black. That is that. I will leave that in the description box down below, along with all of the other products that I've used.
I did want you to put my new trick, which is a burgundy.
A burgundy. So Mummy's really into burgundy eyeliner. And I think you have to be very, very careful with burgundy eyeliner, because there's nothing worse than using like a burgundy pinky eyeliner and then looking like you've got an eye infection.
No, it's more to do with, instead of putting a green, a black or a grey eyeliner on, it's more to have a colour that actually pops your eye colour out.
Yeah.
And it needs to be smudged in, darling. I don't know. I think you.
I love it. She's got her eyes closed, but yet she's trying to tell me how to do it.
Well, you've gone
Calm
down the mascara first.
Well, I didn't realise that you wanted this. I thought I was doing your makeup. Right, here we go. So another question was, what are your memories of me as a little girl?
I think I answered that on the last one. Horrific. I've got post-traumatic stress disorder from your childhood. I tell you what, she was the worst child. Well, you were nice. You were okay up until a year old. After that, my God, I don't know what went wrong. I've sometimes sort of think there must have been some clap of thunder and lightning that struck you or something, and it just turned you into a sort of werewolf just crossed with a child. It was
so pleasant, isn't she?
Honestly, it was not normal how naughty you were.
I might look this way.
It was absolutely impossible to
control me.
Control you, to educate you virtually, to read a book to you. So we did a lot of sort of, I remember this physical activity was the only. I mean, the horses were a godsend, absolute godsend. That was our turning point. You had to go into school early to run round this quadrangle to get rid of all your energy. When I look back, it was almost cruel.
It was cruel, that school. I'm not going to mention which school, but it was cruel.
Absolutely the wrong school for her. I can tell you. You should have gone to some sort of forward-thinking Montessori instead of put her in a tight little, you know, perfect
Very traditional.
Traditional school, and of course she had the reputation as the naughtiest child in the entire school. I used to end up
still am.
not wanting to go and pick you up from school because it was always, Mrs. Smee, can we have a word?
It was tricky. Right, look down.
I think you were bored, actually. I think, looking back, I think you were bored in school.
I just don't think I had teachers that understood how to teach me. But anyway, we're moving on from that. Right, lips. We are actually, a lip liner that Izzy, the makeup artist in Mallorca, told me about, was the lip cheat in Pillow Talk in medium, and it's got more chocolatey undertones. It's really lovely,
yeah, so
actually.
it's more of a lip colour.
So I'm just going to wipe the hoover like that. There we go. So many questions about grandma, and people saying that I always say that I'm so much like my grandmother, but what traits do you think that you have got from grandma? And then, you know, how it's been sort of filtered into
well, obviously our love of Dachshunds, our love of
we have to go
houses.
downstairs a little bit later. Sorry to interrupt you quickly, but the photographs you were showing me yesterday of your grandmother, so my great-grandmother, holding sausage dogs, and you as a little girl, and literally side on side. They were such special.
The photographs, but
they
were in my life from a very, very young age. Always had Dachshunds, and just my lovely childhood that I had, growing up in the countryside with dogs and the beautiful garden. My mother always claimed that after the war, all the what she called the brown furniture, mahogany furniture, was so depressing, and she lived for the Hollywood movies and everything. All she ever asked was it glamorous, darling? So she was really the last of the Lana Turners, that's what we called her. She never went out without her pink lipstick on or red lipstick. Daddy used to trail around after her and just worship the ground she walked on.
Yeah.
So she was a very lucky lady in that she had a man in her life who just adored her. And they were a pigeon pair, which is why we talk about pigeons sometimes.
And we have, yeah.
And they loved their homes and their dogs and their gardens.
They were
and their
so garden proud.
Yeah.
Grandad and his roses were very special.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to have to stop talking for 1 second to do the lip liner. So, right, let me see your lips. Can you lean a bit more towards me? I can't get to you. I like to overline Mummy's lips slightly. Perfect. And you can kind of actually really rub this in, and I actually use it as a bit of a base all over the lip. And if you put a centre mark in between the bottom two and the top two.
I didn't inherit my mother's big lips, I inherited my father's mean lips, sadly. My brother got the big lips.
Uncle Mark and all of my cousins have these enormous, juicy lips.
I know, it's just not fair, is it?
No, I
just did
overline
not
mine.
luck out. She was quite a naughty girl, your grandmother there. I think she had lots of boys after her.
Well,
even though she was married to Daddy. I think he was quite long-suffering.
Well, she was never unfaithful, so don't start
Yeah,
that.
but she had all her little fan base. She used to go out for lunch with them. I remember my brother and I once went to the Little Angel in Henley, and she'd gone down for Beaujolais Nouveau Day with these couple of blokes and a girlfriend of hers, and they were absolutely plastered. And there was a velvet curtain that sort of like separated the bar from the restaurant, and my brother went round and was poking her through this velvet, and in the end we sort of frog marched her out and said, "You've got to go home to Daddy." She was always out sort of having a glamorous time. But the other thing she did, which was always amused me, is on her 80th birthday I threw a glittering party.
Oh, incredible. I actually recently took my YouTube subscribers to Alessio's, and they met Ben Portsmouth.
And
so you know Elvis.
So Mummy had Grandma had a 80th birthday party, and Daddy had sadly passed away, so I wanted to make it really special for her. All her friends turned up looking amazing, and we had Elvis playing as a surprise down in the cellar, and he'd set up this little set down there. My brother popped out as a surprise for her and my nephew and Cameron, and they'd come out of school, and she danced with Elvis on this occasion, and he serenaded her and put his scarf around her neck. And I've got some amazing pictures of her actually somewhere.
We do.
I've got to find. I found those and she was so triggered by this event that brought back all her memories of when she was a young girl, because he was like Elvis, wasn't he?
Oh no, yes.
He is Elvis to
Ben
me.
Portsmouth is the greatest impersonator of Elvis.
So the next week she came to me and she said, you know, could I take her shopping for some sort of fancy underwear? 80 years of age.
She was amazing. No, and I think everybody should live their life like that.
John Lewis, I think.
Hang on a minute. We need to keep this PG.
Ooh. 80 years of age. Good on her.
Oh my goodness, Mummy, I'm not sure. I'm getting a bit hot and flustered whether we can even say this on YouTube.
She said she'd been triggered again.
She felt a bit fruity. Oh, what an honour. What an honour. Right, we're going to scroll through this. What do we think? What did you first think of Mark when you first met him?
Not a lot.
No, so I'll tell you a story. So, we were
sort of lurking around quite a
and
lot.
obviously
and then I suddenly twigged that he was lurking around you, and I thought...
Nothing gets past Mummy. So, I remember Mark and I went for dinner, and he took me out. It was our first date, and basically it was after
the oven down.
Mummy has very quickly gone to go and turn down the oven, and I'm going to continue the story because it's such a great one. So it was Mark and I's first ever date. It was after the horse show in Saint-Tropez, and no one knew that we were going on a date, and my parents were in Saint-Tropez ready to watch me for the horse show, and we went for dinner, and it all got very, very late, and one thing led to the next, and he said, of course he said, didn't he, why don't you come back for a drink at my hotel? So I did. I went back and we had a lovely cocktail at his hotel, and then it got to a time where I was like, my gosh, like I'm getting up super early tomorrow, got a competition, I need to head home. And so I tried to call the local taxi company. No cars available. I could not get a car for love nor money. It was absolutely horrendous. I then said, no, I'm going to walk. He said, well, I can't let you walk, I'll walk you back. And anyway, it got later and later and later and later and later. And I finally decided, look, with two adults, I can stay on the sofa in his suite. And I thought, oh gosh, here we go. So I was wrapped up in this like dressing gown. He was on one side of the room, I was on the other. And I remember waking up at the crack of dawn thinking, my goodness, I need to get back to my hotel to change and get to the horse show on time. So there we go. I've got in a taxi. I've got back to my hotel at like 5:30, 6:30 in the morning. And we were staying in this particular hotel that you had to come down the steps, and there was a swimming pool, and all of the rooms had like balcony doors opening onto the swimming pool, and I could see my father on his balcony reading the Financial Times, and I'm thinking, if I can get down the stairs without him noticing me, thinking that my father thought I'd been out on the ton the whole night. And anyway, so I'm getting down there. He hasn't batted an eyelid. In I go, I'm creeping into my room, and I think, oh, I've got in. And I turn around, and my mother is sat on the bed saying, Leonora, where have you been? And so that was
Rumbled.
that. Rumbled.
Always
So she already knew something was going on, and Marcus was sort of sniffing about, and she just...
That's what I would say, he was just sniffing about. Needed to be sent away. Right, the boys have arrived home. They're outside in the courtyard. They'd like us to join us.
Oh, divine, join them.
Join them.
Wonderful.
Join them for a drink.
Divine. So we're heading outside. I have also promised people...
I think I look a bit sort of rabbity on the eyes. I don't know about the flick. Just caught sight of myself.
Rabbity? I never really had that one before. I've got a lovely palette. Hang on a second.
How about a bit of bronzer or something?
No, look at the colour between you and me.
Yeah, I think it's glowy and lovely, don't I?
Oh, really? Okay, right. Let's do a little bit of... I never know what's going to be on your brushes.
She's so bossy.
Right, let's do this. Close your eyes. You've dropped your bracelet.
It's going to be lost.
Oh, I see. You've got one of mine on.
Yeah, nice, isn't it?
She's so funny about clothes. Right, I'm just going to go over with this gorgeous palette. I do also recognise this.
No, that's mine. Absolutely mine, and I've got two of them, one in Mallorca and one here.
Okay, I'm going to do Pillow Talk, and I'm just going to blend that lovely burgundy liner into your eyelid with a lovely bit of this
You don't think
colour
anything
here.
underneath my eye?
No, I think sometimes underneath
Makes
can
me
make your
look
eyes
piggy.
look a little bit smaller than they are. And yes, I'm not sure on it, and I think that looks absolutely stunning. Come on, let's see a close-up. I think you look absolutely gorgeous. Glowy, light,
Nice cream London earrings. Love
bronze. Yes, she's had those as well.
those. Had them as well.
So
I've got
today-
my eyes on the other ones as well.
I mean, today she comes up and she sort of got her bag and she's sort of getting stuff out of her bag, and I can sort of see in the mirror, I'm sort of looking at, you know, the reflection, and she's got this out, she's got that out, she's got the next
what
thing
sort of
out.
stuff she sent every day.
And then I can see that she's twigged and she's very quickly putting the stuff back in the bag, and she was caught red-handed.
The thing is, she doesn't use all. She could possibly use it all.
No, I'm
I
so
need it.
lucky,
I
but you
need-
do seem to have it all.
I do need it more than you. Look at your skin and mine.
This is true. You do get a mummy. Come on, you get everything. My goodness gracious me.
I get nothing. I don't believe I get nothing.
Right, we have got a date outside with the boys in the courtyard in the sunshine, and then we are going to go for a very quick whiz around because you have got to see these hydrangeas. And in the meantime, we're going to have a quick scroll and try and answer a couple more of your juicy questions. This has been my drink for this evening. This is a gorgeous Beaver Farm sparkling elderflower. And I'm just going to top up my glass a touch more. We're coming out to the courtyard with the boys to see the boys. Have a little glass of Beaver Farm. We're coming! It's a gorgeous little sun trap over here. The scrumptious little drinky poo. Mummy and I are going to take a little walk around the gardens and show her what has exploded in the last couple of weeks.
The mulberry trees are shedding like
They are. Look at all the mulberries on the floor.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. I mean, you keep blinking and then you need to be able to do something else with the fruit that seems to be bearing all the trees. And look at the jasmine on the beautiful arbour. You look, and one moment it's roses and the next it's wisteria, and now we've got jasmine.
Seen the jasmine. Look at Grandma's
I know,
pots.
Grandma's
Oh,
pots
I'm
look
so
amazing.
thrilled that you've done something with them.
I know.
You what, she would be so happy with you.
She would indeed, and I'm so happy at how well they've taken and how well the ivy and all of those beautiful florals. It just looks amazing. Absolutely amazing. The bumblebees are pollinating and the sunshine is just divine. I'm glad to say that we've actually had a few days of a tiny touch of rain, so the garden has just
Popping.
it is popping and the lawn is starting to turn.
Odie delicious.
Isn't Odie delicious? We've got the blonde bombshell. The Annabelle hydrangeas out the back here on this terrace don't actually get that much sun, so they are a tiny bit behind the ones out of the front of the house. And those hydrangeas, well, quite honestly, you're going to have to hold on to your knickers because it's like something out of a movie.
These are very pretty. I like the way you've got.
Yes, they're like almost like little snowdrops.
This is a geranium.
It is a
That's fun, was
geranium.
it?
It is a geranium. And something I learnt the other day in Bamford, just rub your fingers on the leaves. So rub your fingers on the leaves and then smell.
Oh,
Isn't that amazing?
absolutely divine. And look at the
It's incredible.
vines,
I know the vines. Look at this. Look at our grapes.
Oh, these are so pretty as well. Look, the pale pink fuchsias
Aren't they sweet?
with the trailing variegated. I think that looks lovely.
I know, Steve's done a fantastic job with
We've
that.
had that a few years.
I know we have indeed. We have indeed. Right, Lancelot, let's go.
Let's lead the way. Come on, boys.
We've reinstated the sundial in the lawn, which I showed everybody on the last vlog or a few vlogs ago. It's just so much going on at the moment. The herbaceous borders are looking just magnificent.
And it's so hot in Mallorca at the moment. It's so lovely to just feel this coolness here in the evenings because it just doesn't get cool enough to even feel like eating.
Yeah.
Or drinking.
So actually that was one of the questions. I've forgotten my phone actually because I've only got so many hands. But that was a question. I can't quite remember exactly how it was worded. But it said something along the lines of, how do you keep adapting by living, you know, you've lived now predominantly in Mallorca. How do you adapt to living in different countries so well?
I'm not sure I do. In saying that, I had a bit of a baptism of fire when you were a year old, just less than a year old, and Cameron was just less than 3, and Daddy moved me to America. And that was a real sink or swim. You know, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And it was a real struggle, actually. If it wasn't for my amazing neighbour Inga Carr, just teaching me the ropes, basically, how to drive on the other side of the road. And you know, we had a saying, I think, well, it was helped a lot by apple margaritas with her. She came round second day we moved into our house with apple margaritas and toys for you. But we called it retail therapy. So that's when I really got into the beautiful homewares that they sell in America, Pottery Barn, and
Restoration
hardware.
Williams-Sonoma.
I mean, their stuff was so advanced.
But you
on
had
what we had here.
Best time, didn't you?
I actually ended up adoring it, and I wouldn't go back now. I think we had our 10-15 years there. But you know, now we're on to a new adventure, and I actually think that life is adventures. It's chapters. It's, you know, that was probably 2 or 3 chapters in our life. But
yeah, and we had a home there for many years.
It was just incredible, and you just see and you experience so much more when you are brave
and open-minded.
Yeah.
And definitely, would you say, so what would be your top tips to somebody who maybe might have just moved to the UK or might have just moved to a completely different country with no family, no help, no support network?
Sometimes changes the order of the day. It's an adventure.
Yeah.
Just treat it as an adventure. And especially when you're young, for goodness sake.
Yeah. And how would you say you've adapted with spending more time in Mallorca?
Well, I have days when I miss you so much, it's just not even normal. But you know, we rotate fairly.
We do.
Often.
We're very lucky. We're so
very,
blessed.
Very, very lucky. And I am. My next plan is to get better at the language, so I can actually communicate.
So she can order rosé. I'm sure she doesn't struggle too much. Not too much, but anyway, let's head around the orchard and take in what is just the most beautiful evening.
Buddleia is looking very pretty.
The buddleia is looking very pretty indeed. And do you like the different levels?
All the butterflies. You have buddleia in your orchard.
We do. Look, there's Wiggy.
The fruit is going to be insane.
Have you had the plums down here? Come down here. Look, he's safaring, Grandma.
Hello, darling.
The apples, look at this. Every single tree is just adorning the most incredible amount of different fruits. We've got so many different apples in this orchard, from crab apples to amazing, enormous cooking apples. But Mum, I'm not even joking. Pick one of those plums, any plum, and try it.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Isn't that unbelievable?
Oh.
I made a crumble last weekend from those plums and the cherries up there. Isn't it just incredible? And I was actually just picking them off of the floor because they're just so delicious. We need to start picking more plums. This is sacrilege. We cannot let these plums go to waste. It's just divine.
Now this is a little tree that's doing so well with the rose.
I know, we've popped a David Austin, a climber up this dead tree.
I still think that should be the spot that we put Quarry and Tally.
Oh, I don't know.
And leave them in the boot room forever in their boxes. Come on.
I know.
Let's do it.
Can I give you that for a second? I'm going to turn the camera around. We have Italia Theodora Madeleine Smee and William Wallace Quarry Smee and X Factor Smee and Well, Grandma and Grandad we're not putting in the orchard. They're definitely staying in their pot.
Well, they'd feel a bit out of it, and Grandma would hate it in the winter, wouldn't she?
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
she'd lay there.
She's
always wanted to be part of the
single
party. So, yeah, they get taken out of their little spot. Well, not
Honestly.
taken out of the pot.
No. They
Really not out
firmly
the
stay.
pot.
They stay in their pot.
Stay in their pot.
But for those people who might not know, yes, my grandmother and my grandfather are actually mixed together. That was their wish. And then my mother got half and my Uncle Mark got half. And we have a very
Apparently it's
beautiful
quite
pot.
large.
Yes, and so we bring them out at parties. And then people say,
Well, I don't
that's a
know.
really wonderful hurricane lamp. Or is it, no, it's a jam jar.
it's
like
not a jam
Well, that's
jar.
what they call it, like a
No, it's not. It's a beautiful
big
vase.
right, okay.
Pot.
Well, don't you call those like antique jam jars?
Ginger jar.
Ginger jars, there we go.
Ginger jar.
Ginger jar. Grandma and Grandad are in a ginger jar. And
It's a very
people,
nice one.
people always say, is that from Ochre? I said, no. Anyway, what we were talking about is potentially putting Tally and Quarry in the orchard. But I always worry that what happens, you know, one day life moves on and we'll go on to our next adventure.
Well, we can't keep dragging them around with us everywhere, so I think...
Oh, you haven't tried the cherries? Come back over here. Mama Rita, which for those of you who might not know, my mother's nickname is Mama Rita. And here are the cherries.
Oh my God, they look amazing.
Aren't they incredible? They're a little bit more tart. No, Mummy.
Not sure about that.
I thought they were delicious.
Cow.
Mummy, that is absolute false information. I'm not having any of it. And to prove it...
Done well there.
Oh, Mum, I don't know what you're on about.
Oh, can we give up on it?
Absolutely delicious. Do you? Delicioso. Off she goes.
Come on.
With her boys.
Patrick.
Rafferty Patrick of the Rafferty Patrickingtons.
Foodie, delicious.
Right. Got the blonde bombshell now. Where's the ginger nut? Where's the peanut?
Come on. Wicked. Wicked.
Oh, slots. Oh!
Oh!
Oh, Lancelot, that was a quick one.
Yay.
That was a close call. Oh my goodness. No killing tonight, please. Right, Mummy, let's head into the front garden and just take in what is something out of a Disney movie. And here we are.
Gorgeous. And they're red.
Isn't it amazing?
That is so incredible. And do you remember when we first ever saw the farm as a family? It had this dark green door.
It did.
And the day we moved in, I went down to Farron Ball with you and we chose
We
that
did.
joyful colour, Incardine red, for the front door.
For the front door.
And that's just the pop
And
colour.
we do indeed. Everybody does a double take at the front door. But quickly before I head down there, I do just want to share this magnificent English country border with you. It is just so stunning, from the self-seeded poppies to the vibrant reds, all of the different hydrangeas, the daisies. It's looking incredible. The hollyhock sadly has gone over, but the roses are still flourishing. The sausages just loving every second of it. Oh, those beautiful pale pink roses. We're missing the little peanut. That's it. And here we are. Look at these hydrangeas. They are just something else. They are almost, I suppose these ones definitely are, the top of the almost halfway up the windows. And yes, we do have a pig on top of our front door. It is just hysterical, but we are a little bit crazy in this family and we wouldn't have it any other way. But look at these billowing Annabelle hydrangeas. They are absolutely stunning. Oh my goodness gracious me, we are so blessed. Come on, boys. Come on then. Come on then. Here she comes.
Oh, stop beating him up.
Come on then.
The poor boy alone.
I just can't bear it. Look at my hollyhocks. Oh my giddy aunt. They must be 12 foot. Oh my gosh. I promise I'm not walking towards a sun flare. Look at those. So for context, here's Mummy. I mean, they are just incredible.
You saved them from the other bed.
I know, I did. I went running out and I was like, no, we have to save the hollyhocks. And look at them. They are nothing short of magnificent. Oh, I'm so pleased. That has made my whole week. I've not seen them, no. I don't really tend to come around the front here because the boys aren't really allowed around here and it is looking a little bit dry and a little bit sad. And I do worry about the boys being around cars, but another one of Grandma's garden statuary. They did have a few naked ladies or two, and definitely something that I have taken on myself. Oh, this is so stunning. Let's go and see the boys.
The chicken from the oven.
Yes, you look so beautiful there, Mum. And your makeup is glowing, if I'm allowed to say so myself. I think one did a fantastic job, if you ask me. Look, just look at that, Mum. Take that in. That is something else. We're so blessed. And then look at our pink hydrangeas. Oh, wow. They are enormous. The water lilies have come out. Look at this. My sweet, precious little children. Mummy's little peanuts. He's a peeny fresh. It's because it's a little bit cooler. They close up at night time. But over the next few days, they are going to open up and look beautiful. All of the gorgeous water lily pads are just so special as well. Well, we're back round the front. The birds are singing. The sun is shining. I'm with my mother and I'm feeling so beyond blessed. Okay, we're back inside and we're going to do a final few questions until the timer goes off on the microwave. Right, Mummy.
The microwave.
The microwave. Actually, perfect. I've just opened. So, what's your mummy's all-time favourite dish? And please tell me there's a chance you two could cook together one day and share it with us on this channel. That would be epic. So, Mummy, what would you say is your all-time favourite dish?
I love spicy food. I love Indian curries and Thai curries. But what would I have? I tell you what, whenever I'm away and I come back home to England, I love roast chicken.
She does love a roast chicken.
All the vegetables and lovely gravy and the English spring vegetables, English autumn vegetables, whatever, but a gorgeous organic chicken from Machin's, and
yeah,
you know, if it's nearer Christmas, to have the bread sauce and all the trimmings.
Oh,
it's
love.
just, you know, and in the summer you have a roast chicken and just have it with garlic mayonnaise and some beautiful
Delish.
pot peas, and I don't
There
know.
are a few dishes, like when I am away
Chicken.
and I
Chicken.
see a menu, I do think of a few things that remind me of you, and one is a lobster thermidor.
Well, for your 21st birthday, we couldn't decide where to go, and we looked at a few places, and oh, it was all, and I just, in the end,
There
I
is
thought,
no
"Do you know
better
what?"
place than at home.
So we all got dressed up, all your friends came.
All in black tie.
We had basically a black tie dinner party on the Saturday night, and I did lobster thermidor,
and beef Wellington.
And
And Mummy's
fillet of
beef Wellington is just the very
secret
best
recipe, but we will share it with
We
you.
will share it with you.
And we did a Mont Blanc as a pud, which as a child my grandmother taught me to cook, which is a meringue with chestnut puree and cream, and it is supposed to look like the Mont Blanc in Switzerland. And you know, those are, I mean, terribly rich and fattening. And then on the Sunday, do you remember, we had then a paella, Johnny's paella.
Yes, Johnny's
And
paella.
all Cameron's friends came and just picked up all the big prawns on the top. And
So naughty indeed, but
you know who you are.
we always have this saying in our family, FHB, family hold back. We let the guests go first, of course. Now, final few questions, but my battery is flashing, so I think what I might do is quickly change the battery, and then I promise you they're quick questions.
no.
They're quick questions. We've got to do this before the microwave goes. Okay, so final question, I think, has got to be, my darling Faye. So when you begin to design a room, can you go through the order and you think of it in your head? Where do you begin and how do you organise it and how do you tackle it? So let's say, Mummy, you've got a blank canvas.
How do I tackle it? Well, it depends on the light, obviously, with the colour that you're going to paint the room, and the shape of the room, and what the room's going to be used for. I mean, I am so into using yellow at the moment. I know it sounds ridiculous. I'm always obsessed with it, but it works better in Mallorca in a warmer climate. I think, yeah, it depends on the use of the room and the furniture and the layout, but I would think paint colour probably is up there for me, and then fabrics that I just trail around with.
That you can't live without.
I love collecting fabric samples, and
Then you build up on it, don't you?
and furniture, and I am completely obsessed with online auctions at the moment because I can't get to them from living in Mallorca. So you know, sometimes I just have one piece of furniture or one painting that sort of triggers me, and then I'm off and I'm on a roll, and then, you know, everything follows. Or a piece of fabric that I absolutely adore that I'm going to put on one chair, and the rest follows. And yes, obviously practicality and making a room comfortable is everything, and livable in. So yeah, colour on the walls, fabrics.
So I suppose you've got your blank canvas, you need to figure out what is the room going to be used for, look at the lighting in the room, and at different stages of the day, I think is very important. Work out what colour you want to paint it, and then, as Mummy says, fabrics,
Like
fabrics,
a dark, gloomy room in England in the winter, you know, in a dining room that faces north, paint it coral. Fabulous. Don't be scared of colour, that's what I always
Yes,
say.
don't be scared of colour. Well, guys, it has been just the most amazing evening for me in a way, because there are some of these stories that I had actually never heard before, and listening to it and listening to stories that I've heard 100 times, it's always just so special. And actually getting to spend time with my mum, and the fact that I get to share it with you, is like just absolutely everything, absolutely everything. And I feel so grateful to you, Mummy, for always being a bit, you know, she's always saying, of course darling, whatever you need, and always so supportive. And you read all of my YouTube comments.
I think it's amazing. I think it's so, as I said before, out of my comfort zone doing this, but when I read the comments and the positivity that you have created,
and meeting people,
oh, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And it all come down to Saint-Denis this summer.
Yes, you've
For
got
Leonora's 30th birthday party. Save me, for God's sake.
But anyway, we are going to get some dinner onto some plates and have a gorgeous evening, and what is the most beautiful evening tonight with the boys. So thank you for watching, sending you so much love, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one.